Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is our live stream. It's currently 20 minutes to the bell, and figured I would jump on here if there was anything that you guys were interested at looking at. I'll look up whatever you guys want, and we'll go from there. We'll go over a couple of things. I'm currently, excuse me, I'm currently in a short position at the moment on the micro E-mini. Now, it's only one contract, not a huge deal, but I got in. I wanted to get in here at what I saw as previous resistance, and I'll actually just go over this in a second. All right, so let's take a look at the charts. All right, so this is the micro E-mini. Resistance right here from yesterday's overnight session was around 3990, right? So right up here, we saw the market sell on off, try to rebound a little bit, and came back up to that level. All right, so the market is up a lot this morning. The market was up almost 1% on the S&P 500. So not a bad time to get into a short when you see that something is up so much. You don't like to trade against the trend, but what we've seen happening is those pre-market moves, whether it's to the upside, they don't usually last going into the session. Upside, and then we sell off, right? Or we sell off in the pre-market, and then we rally a little bit. So those pre-market moves, at least in the last few days, they haven't really been holding so strong. So anyway, that's just where I'm sitting right now. Like I said, one contract, not huge. So far this morning, it's been a really, really nice trend since the UK Open. Now, what I like about this is to eventually, instead of going short, is to eventually look for longs, right? So where am I going to look for a long? I'm going to look for a long right here, and I'll show you guys on the spot. Very, very key level right here. This is the 30-minute chart, and it also happens to be a key level here around 390. All right, we saw this act as resistance. It was support yesterday, saw a very nice bounce off of that 390, and then we saw this right here, which has been a very clear level of support, right? You can see here, support, 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 broke that support in the pre-market, came back up, retested that. So what I would like to see, if I was gonna, have a bullish stance today, if I want to go long the market, I would be watching this 395 area for a potential for a bounce. 395. So we were currently at 398, rejected a whole bunch of times here for about an hour and a half or so. So if the market does pull on back, I would look around that area to see if there's some buying that comes in. Because yesterday, we sold off, couldn't break that. Because what is support turns into resistance. And that's just the way it is. You guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure that this microphone is not too loud. Sometimes it could get a little loud, trying to work on that. By the way, it's cold. Very cold up here in the Northeast right now. Also want to take a look, what we look at every morning are the Treasury yields and what they're doing. So I would say this is basically just flat, right? Not huge moves. The yields are up slightly, but nothing really to worry about as far as the yields go. The 10-year, still nice, well below 4, not a big deal. The inversion is a big deal, but we're worried about that, in the future. If you're day trading and, looking at the now, don't worry so much about this. You do want to worry if the yields are up way too much or down a lot. That can affect the market. But as far as this inverse yield curve with the 3-month, the 10-year, the 10-year with the 2-year, that is a big deal. And that's playing out and will eventually play out with the potential for a recession coming, maybe next year. And that can really be a very bearish sign for the markets. But, if we're day trading, we're looking at key levels for the moment. The economic calendar, this is what you have coming up. Fed Collins spoke at 8:40, and then you have home sales in 44 minutes. So that's at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. some home stuff here. So, nothing crazy on the economic calendar, and nothing crazy on the economic calendar next week. Now, next week is a shortened week because of Thanksgiving on Thursday. The markets are closed on Thursday, and then Friday, it's probably going to be very light volume. Leading up to Thanksgiving, there's nothing. There's the FOMC minutes, but on Wednesday, but I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. If you're trading, obviously watch out for that, but nothing crazy. So the SPY looks like it's pulled on back to VWAP and got that initial bounce. Hey Eric, thank you, buddy. Wow, 24 down there? What am I complaining about? It's 37 up here. Wow, 24 degrees. That's crazy. Now is where the heating oil is going to start to skyrocket, right? They wait until it gets cold, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's no supply. Here we go. Let's see where our position's looking at right now. Like I said, not extremely worried about this trade with one contract. So I'm just kind of letting this play out. We'll see where this goes. But I just realized I forgot my coffee upstairs, so I'm going to go grab that right now. Be right back. I can't function in the morning without my coffee. All right, so taking a look over here, the Treasury yields, like we were just looking at, this is the daily chart on this, right? So this is for the year. The yields go up, the market goes down. What we've seen happening is a pullback in yields, which has been good for the equity market. The dollar broke down. Now, when you see a big move like that in the dollar, a lot of times you'll get that consolidation. And it's really just like any market, any stock market, any market you see. After huge moves, there's almost always that consolidation before the next move. So let's look at the SPY here on the daily chart. And let's see where the potential is for this to move. Now, what I have here on my daily chart, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what indicators I use, on the daily only, I use the 200 moving average, I use the 50 moving average, and I use the 20 EMA. All right. So what we saw yesterday is that pullback to previous support, and you can just see here. Let's just extend this to the left. You can see where this bounces off of, right? This is support. This 390 area comes back up to it, rejects it, breaks out of it, retests it. This is the way technical analysis works. And that's why key levels work. Supply, demand, support, and resistance. Now, why do I have these other indicators on here? It's because a lot of other traders and algorithms have these indicators written into their code, okay? So right now we're over the 50 moving average, very nice. We're over the 20, very nice. The last time the 20 EMA broke over the 50 moving average was right back here. And this is something that I showed during our weekly watch list video. This looks very, very, very similar, extremely similar to what happened during this last bottoming out process here over the summer before we saw that big rally. And that's what this looks like to me. We broke out, we retested, right? We broke out, we retested. We retested that same number. Do you think that's coincidence? I don't. All right? Patterns don't have to repeat themselves, but they, not always do, but they tend to really do that. And that's why I look back at what happened to see what the potential is for what can happen. So we broke out, came back down. The only thing is we didn't come back down yet and really retest this 20 EMA or even the 50 moving average. So if we do get a bigger pullback, that's going to bring us right back into all this garbage that happened. So while I still do think that overall target is probably going to get up to this downtrend line. I mean, everybody's looking at this downtrend line. That's what scares me, because I feel like you could get trapped, right? If it breaks out of this trend line, then everybody's going to say, oh, we're really bullish, and then they're just going to pull the rug out. And that's a potential to happen. The 200 moving average is right there at 406. These are areas I would be looking at if we do see a bit of that next leg up. Like we saw here, the pullback, and then we saw that next leg up would probably be around this area. So that's just on the daily chart. We can look at the Qs also, if anybody's interested in this one. Kind of broke out, same, very similar. Guys, look at how similar this is to back in the summer, where we made a higher high here than that breakout, a higher high than that breakout. And now we're retesting that breakout area, which is right here. And let's see what happens. The 20 EMA and the 50 are converging right now. The last time that happened was on a pullback, and then we saw the rally. So can we get a rally into year end? I don't know. I don't care what happens, but trading this type of stuff right here is trash. It's very tough to do. I want a clear direction. A clear direction is so much easier to trade. So I don't care what happens. I just want some kind of direction to happen. The chart, I mean, the daily chart does look like a rally wants to continue, but who knows? Forgot I was still in a trade here. So you can see here this one contract here is currently up. It's currently up a little bit, $20. We saw that rolling over, but now we're approaching the open. So what I'm gonna do before the open here, and just don't know if I want to or not, but I should probably close this trade out because you never know what can happen off the open. You can see here we're grinding up, grinding up, grinding up. Yeah, I see that. Rug pull today. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, anything's possible, right? We need to trade on probabilities. And that's why I like to look at those key levels in the market, to trade off of. So if the SPY does come back down to that 395 you can see down here on the 5-minute chart, if it comes down to that, I would like to see, where the buyers are stepping in. Are they going to step in? Or does the market just keep going up and get rejected again at 400 on the SPY? I don't know. I don't know. If I knew, obviously trading would be simple. And trading is not simple. So we just have to do risk management. We have to take the best probability trades that we think we see, by using technical analysis, whatever you guys want to use, however you find it. Eric, do I stay in this trade or do I get out before the open? I got 3 minutes to decide. Yeah, I mean, that's clear as day, right? 395 and 390. Yep. But, maybe we rip right up. The trend in the morning is going up. But the last few days, like I said, the trend in the morning in the pre-market, yeah, it's because, Eric, that's smart, right? Smart. Always smart to get out before the open. And it didn't really do anything. So what am I really doing here in this trade? So we currently have 2 minutes to the bell. Yeah, right. So you get the rip up, what Eric is saying. You get the rip up, they trap bulls, and then they pull. But you know, like we say all the time, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen off the open. This, to me, looks like a bullish trend here, obviously. I mean, it's clear as day. Does that mean it's going to continue? Maybe. Who knows? All right, we got the open coming up here. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. We're still rejecting that level. But just to be safe, I'm going to be a good boy. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a stop loss right up here. Just above that. All right, we got the open. Let's see what happens here right off the open. Looking at the SPY down here on the 5-minute. So if I'm putting my stop up there, I really want to see this come on down to, you know, at least this point here, right? So 3983, something like that, and then I'll look to possibly take my profit. Like I said, off the open, anything's possible. So, you know, it's really tough. It's tough to make a, you know, an educated call off the open because, like we've seen so many times, anything's possible. So we're seeing a little of that weakness here. There you go. You had your, let's see. Let's see if the SPY wants to go down anymore. 397, 396. Watch 3980. That could, sometimes the 80s can be a bounce. And that's right where it bounced, 3980 on MES. There you go. Nice move down. So this is what we saw happen the last couple of days, right? This is why I'm kind of, you know, comfortable with being in the short here, is we've seen the opposite reaction. I wish I had multiple contracts. I would take one off now. Got my finger on the buy button. All right, hit it. All right, so that was 55 off the open at previous resistance here. All right, so that's, I mean, this could go down further. Maybe that 395 is going to be where it ends up going. Who knows? Like I said, the beginning of, it's been 3 minutes into the market. But happy with that, you know, $55 here. Not too bad. Oh, you're 20 seconds behind me? Wow. I wonder if Russ Cameron has that much of a delay. Are you guys just watching the market, or are you guys getting into anything yet, or are you waiting for that 395? All right, next 5 minute candle is starting now. Yeah, gotcha, Eric. Nothing wrong with waiting it out. Nothing wrong with just waiting for those key levels, because right now you're kind of in the middle of nowhere at this point. See this 9 EMA rejection on the 1 minute? When something's trending, the 9 EMA is a really, really good indicator to use when something's trending. So if it's below it, comes back to it, and then rejects it, and now making lower lows. Yeah, that's possible, Eric. That's why I always have VWAP on the futures, and I always have VWAP on the SPY, because they're obviously not at the same spot, but it's good to have, multiple things to look at. S&P 500 is still up over 0.5%. That's a big gain for a day. Will there be selling like we're seeing right now on the open, and then possibly be bought back? Who knows? Is there any momentum going on today? Oh, there you go. Oh man, I missed this. This is from the momentum scanner here. Watch my other videos. You'll see how to get these stocks to show up. Look at that, setting up for maybe a breakout. A little flat top breakout here maybe on PXMD. If you have the stomach for it, trading momentum can give you some really big gains really quickly, but you have to know what you're doing. I don't recommend, actually, I don't recommend trading in general. If you are a beginner do it on paper. You know, time will be your edge. So you don't want to just jump in right off the bat with real money and say, oh, I saw, you know, this person make this amount, you know, online, so I could do it. No, it takes time. It takes time. It's not as easy as what it looks like. Like I'm on here in the pre-market, make $55 just doing a little technical analysis. That's just not the way it works. You have to know what you're doing. Look at these rejections off the 9 EMA. Now we're at VWAP. Get the initial bounce, the algo bounce at VWAP. We'll see what happens. Another 5-minute candle just started so far. You know, cutting into the opening gap up. Doesn't mean it's going to be a weak day just because you see the selling right off the bat. That's normal to see on a gap up into resistance. Doesn't mean that the market needs to be overall bearish today. So keep that in mind. You're still up just about 0.5% on the S&P 500. That's a big move up. We were up almost 1% here when I got into my short position. So yeah, housing data, right? At 10 a.m., I think the housing data was. That's what we showed on the economic calendar. I'll just double check that in 18 minutes. Some home sale stuff. So yeah, at 10 a.m., you can see definitely the market is going to move. So be careful if you're in a trade at that point. The market's been moving like crazy on every macro economic data. It's been wild. Love that EMA though on the trend. So when I'm trading momentum stocks as well, since you're trading momentum, this is something that I take trades off of a lot. Now, I'm more a long trader, even though I took a short here in the futures. When I'm trading momentum, I like to trade to the upside. So it would be the opposite of this. It would be supporting the 9 EMA, bouncing off it on the way up. The battle at VWAP right now on the futures, not on SPY, on the futures. $395 is only 1 point away on SPY. Kind of really want that to be retested. There you go. Big breakdown there. 395, here we come. Unless it's a fake out. have another 5-minute candle here starting in just about 30 seconds or so. Another rejection at the 9. Until the 9 breaks, um, I wouldn't really consider a long until this trend changes. Just going down, 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 down. Hit 370 though. Probably took some stops out under VWAP. There you go. You got a little push up there. 3-minute candle was red hammer. Right here. You had a red hammer there before that too. So still choppy, still a little choppy. This is the 3-minute chart. Get that break of the 9. Definitely supported by VWAP. So if you don't have VWAP up on the futures, at this point on the SPY, you're probably wondering, well, why are we bouncing here? There's nothing here. It's just a bunch of just space. There's nothing going on. That's just from the futures market. Little bounce there at VWAP. And then over here on the SPY, when we come up to VWAP, which is around 396, 83 at the moment, when you hit that and possibly get rejected, and something rejects around here on the futures, you're asking yourself, why did it just pull back? Well, have these things up on other screens so you know. And that doesn't always have to happen. It's just nice to have, multiple things to look at. Let's see what the VIX is doing. The VIX is looking really good. I mean, down under 24, 23.36 right now. Down over 2%. So that's good. Look at that drop there. This is why momentum trading is very difficult. You can get that breakout, right? This is what we were just looking at before. You get the breakout and then the pullback. This is why when I trade momentum, I take my profit very, very, very fast. Because on 1,000 shares, you don't want to be sitting in stuff like this is hundreds of dollars right here. But you want to take that rip up. Everybody else is looking at the same stuff, and then make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. There we go. Looks like it's got a magnet to 395. Let's be patient. So you guys think I should have just held my short? Should I have just held my short this whole way? $55 is $55 at the end. Who cares? But I have been trying to hold things longer, especially in a market like this. I mean, how many times you guys get stopped out before the move happens and then you end up, regretting it? You know, I like to say cut your losses quick. I would rather take one contract and have a way bigger, risk to reward. Give yourself some room. Yeah, hindsight makes more money, of course. What do you think our chances are that we just stop here instead of going down to retest 395? I mean, we've gotten so close. Are we going to bounce here? And remember, 10 minutes until those housing numbers come out. We always have to be aware of our economic calendar. I didn't even realize I've been live for over 40 minutes. Wow. All right, guys, I'm not going to take much more of your time here. If you're still watching, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. I do appreciate it. And everyone in Discord, I'll be in there in just 1 minute.